Hi, my name's Debbie. I work full-time at Airbus as a PA, and I was a wife.
My name's Joseph Brennan. So I'm 21. I'm Irish, as you can tell, but I've lived in London since I was a kid for most of my life.
My name's Darren. I'm a pretty laid-back guy. I've had a very good and fulfilled life.
I was a mum of two boys, Alfie and Jack.
I play a few musical instruments. I write a lot, I think, which is probably my main kind of vocation these days. As a kid, like I went from wanting to be a Buddhist monk at one point to like a punk rocker.
Football, I'm a massive Newcastle United fan. I'm really getting into the World Cup at the moment.
Jack is very bright. He wants to be a director. He loves acting. And Alfie is just completely mad, loves riding his bike and punching things and things like that. And Alfie is obsessed by Fortnite. He loves Fortnite and Minecraft. But yeah, they're both good boys.
Like writing's always been in me as my like go-to mode of expression.
I used to be the regional manager for Biffa Waste in the southwest. I had 7 depots that reported to me.
I worked at Airbus for 10 years. My job was a PA where I looked after Bruges, which was just everything really, is travel, car, dry cleaning. Yeah, it was a really good job. I loved it.
Top of the range BMW, £50,000 BMW. I had a cracking salary. I was the envy of my peers. I had everything as they saw. And then I was made redundant a month after my daughter was born.
I've a lot of happy memories, but I think the enduring thing over the years, since the age of about maybe 11 or 12, has been things have been I've gone through a lot. I think
My husband was an architect, and he was working long hours, and he had a slip disc and a bad back, so he started drinking, and then his drinking got more to hide that, and our lives just fell apart through that, really.
phrase people use is like fell in with the wrong crowd, which I hate as a phrase because it feels so kind of reductive. But yeah, something like that. When I was about 13, I got introduced to heroin, and yeah, that kind of everything after that sort of just piled on.
You can be taken away from you so easy, and you can be brought down from that place, which I'm ashamed of. I would never tell my ex-colleagues my situation now. They're all still doing well. But yeah, somebody made a decision to make me redundant one day, and my life changed. And then a series of bad decisions after that, I found myself here.
I looked after my granddad as well as the children and working full time, and I didn't reach out enough for help, and it just got ahead of me. And then I had a nervous breakdown, and I left. I didn't know what I was doing, and then it all fell apart, really. I just lived in a tent. Yeah, I just walked away because I couldn't cope, because I just didn't know how to fix it.
From the age of 13, then I was on and off, sort of on the streets, and doing various sort of illicit things to make money for gear. Every day I was begging or stealing or doing other things for to make money, and yeah, a lot of things happened during that time.
You don't know how to live anymore because the pain is so intense.
How did it feel being on the street?
It's kind of I think it's something that's almost impossible to properly communicate if you've never experienced the proper material privation. It's not something that's easy to communicate, but you're just in survival mode 24/7.
Vulnerable. Not because of the other people on the street, not the other street folk, but when you've got a load of drunken guys coming down the street on a Friday night, and you're huddled up in a doorway, you feel very vulnerable, and I have. I think lonely.
Being able to plan for 3 hours into the future is something that I think, you know, a lot of people don't consider as a luxury, but when you're homeless, it's literally like second to second, you know, like you wake up and you're absolutely freezing, you have to spend, you know, 45 minutes just trying to stop shivering, hoping this time you haven't caught pneumonia. It's the one thing that always sort of annoys me today, even when I hear people talking about homeless people who are, or people who are on drugs, is there's that kind of idea that people are just sort of getting high or having a, you know, good time. It's like when you're in that place, it becomes a physical need more so than food and water, and people don't want to be there, but it's so agonizing not to, you know, have it, that you would, you know, there's like just a driving force.
What hurts for me the most is my children, and the years that I miss, and not being a mum every day of their life. That is really what I truly miss. I don't feel like me.
I think getting out of that place was, a lot of it had to be, you know, off of my own back, but like looking back, I can't even slightly take credit for, you know, for most of it. Most of it's been just, I've been given, you know, people have reached out their hands to help me, and without them,
I found out about somewhere to go about 3 years ago.
It's hard to explain somewhere to go, because I think from on the outside in, if people look, it looks like it's, you know, all these people that have fallen and that. But when you go inside, it's just like a family.
If you're on, you know, the sort of recovery pathway, it's not always that smooth. So I had a relapse or two after first coming out of treatment. When I was just, as well, homeless in a, you know, like sleeping rough in a time where I didn't know anyone. I was so disappointed and so like with myself and so run down and just done with everything. And I think just having that one place, I knew that I could go, and a few people I would recognise and know, and a few people who could just, you know, just chat to me and sort of, you know, force a bit of life back into me, just enough to get through the rest of the day and put a few more things in place. I think, you know, I don't know what I would have done without it.
But it's something that you can rely on at 10 o'clock in the morning. They know there's somewhere warm, where they can get a cup of tea and a biscuit, bit of toast, and meet up with their friends.
Like, I volunteer 4 days a week now. I can just pop down, it's like 5 minutes to walk away.
I just went there one day, and I went up there, and they were just there to help. I had nothing, no gas, no electric, no food. And they just helped me straight away. And they've helped me since, referrals with housing, financial. So yeah, they have. They've been everything, really.
It's kind of twofold. We have, so we're a day centre, so people can come in, you know, we have tables and we got, you know, things around to do. You can come in, sit, chill, eat something, have a, you know, cup of coffee or tea. I go in, I'll, you know, make people tea and coffee, I help out with the cooking where I can. I go up and sort out, whether it's, you know, people need toiletries, toothbrushes, you know, or a sleeping bag, or, you know, some new digs or something, you know, whatever we can do, we go grab it for people. And then there's the other part, which is we make referrals onto housing services, and for, you know, if people need mental health support, if people need support with drugs or drink problems. Yeah, we're sort of connected into a web of services which we can kind of send people out to. And probably one of the most rewarding things about doing that sort of work over the long term is sometimes I'll meet someone who used to come in and like run down and tired and almost to the point of giving up, and then I see them a couple months later and they're, you know, maybe they're housed, or they're just, you know, but they're just, you know, like they're bouncing around, they're full of life, and they're proper, you know, they're back in the game again, and it's beautiful to see, like, you know.
I don't know, when I think about somewhere to go, it makes me smile, it makes me feel safe. Somewhere to go is somewhere to go, it really is.
As a professional, I would never have thought to go to somewhere to go. Having known now what they offer, I may well have.
I think people underestimate the value of just simple human connection. Like when I was on the streets, like I was, you know, sitting, whether I was just walking up and down the road or I was sitting somewhere begging, I wasn't expecting people to give me money or food or anything. Sometimes people did, and I was immensely grateful to them, but just sometimes someone would like look me in the eye and just nod, and like just for that I was like, oh Jesus, thank you, you know, because that's just having someone acknowledge that you're human and that you're, you know, we're all on a level here. We're not, you know, we're all far more similar than we are different, and there's nothing really that separates us apart from circumstance and luck and chance, you know.